my way to a special person in my life. His name is Chef Robert. He is my father-in-law. And one thing about Chef Robert, he is the epitome of someone who has the victory, triumph, and courage, and very inspirational. His story is very inspirational about how he was able to overcome a few challenges in his life, and just the fact that he was able to become a chef is like a miracle, you know, and the things that prominent things that he was able to do before he retired. And one thing I love about Chef Robert, that, you know, he's 79 years old, y'all, and he still get out there and walk every single day with a cane. And he would call me up and tell me, when I was still 275 pounds, he would call me up and say, "Hey, I just got in my steps today." And I'd be like, "What? I don't have no energy to get out there and walk like you." You know, at that point in my life, I had a lot of depression and was making all kinds of excuses. And you know what? Watching him inspired me to finally get up off my butt and do something about my situation. You know, he was one of the ones that kept pushing me by telling me what they're doing, to finally get angry enough to make a change, y'all. And like I said, he's 79 years old, and if he can get out there with a cane and walk every day with the victory, he's a man of faith, y'all. You're gonna see in a minute. He's a man of faith. If he can walk with the victory, then what's our excuse, okay? Anyway, we're going in now, and I'm happy to introduce you guys to Chef Robert. See you soon. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, no matter what time it is your time. I'm just so grateful that you are here with us, spending a little time with us. This is Kingdom Queen Talk, YouTube, and I am Lady Tay, the Vision Queen. I have a special guest here with me today, and his name is Chef Robert. He's my father-in-law, and he's such an inspiration to me in my life. And I just want to introduce you guys to him, and he's going to talk about, you know, how he get out and does his walk every day, and, you know, to inspire us. You know, we're marching for victory. We've been marching for victory for the past 3 weeks. This is the 4th week. And guys, this is the great way to inspire you to keep marching through the month of April as well. So I just want to introduce you right now to Chef Robert. Say hello.
Hello.
He is my father-in-law, and he always inspired me, you know, when he was getting out walking and everything. And when I was 275 pounds, he would always call me and say, "Hey, I got out and did my steps." You remember you used to do that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I will tell her, you know, that I did my step for the day. So I get up, and around about 1, 2, 3 o'clock, something like that, I do my steps in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
My steps is about 2,000 steps a day.
Which is a lot for someone who's retired.
Mm-hmm. But it's not every day, but when you have beautiful days like this,
Mm-hmm.
and the trees is budding out and everything.
Yeah.
And I get out and do my steps because
Yeah.
the day is beautiful.
So about how many days a week you think that is?
Oh, about 5-6 days a week, something like that. When I can. But when it's raining and stuff like that, I don't go out.
Of course.
Unless it kind of slack up a little bit, and then I go out there and rush my steps in, just get my steps in, just to get my steps in it, and just keep on going. And I try to encourage everybody else out there to get their steps in, get your steps in while you can.
Yep.
And then this do me a lot of good because it don't, I don't be stiff and stuff like that. You're sitting down all the time. You have to get up and do something.
That's true.
And I get up and start moving around. That's all you thing you have to do. You have to motivate your own self sometimes. Nobody's there to motivate you.
That's so true.
You have to start motivating yourself to move, get up, start moving around. Once you start moving around, just keep going.
Keep going.
You just tell yourself, keep going, because you're doing real good. We're not gonna put no kind of timing on it. You take your time doing it.
Yep.
But you don't want to hurt yourself.
That's true.
However, if you feel good, get up and do it.
So about 5 days a week, 5 to 6 days a week. And about how long it usually take you think?
It'll take me about 35 to 40 minutes or something like that. You don't have to do no fast pace walking and
Right.
all this. You just take your time and look at the beauty around you as you go. Beautiful trees out there. The birds are singing. They happy. And they singing their songs, And you're looking at the squirrels. They jumping about, running up and down the trees,
Yeah.
right behind one another. They getting their exercise.
Oh, they sure are.
Yeah, they gonna get their exercise, and all kind of beautiful birds at this time of the year is coming out, and little sparrows and carpenter birds and your blue jays.
Yep.
And then you have your orange breast robins. They come out and they come out there and they look at me and they look at me up and down. And I said, wow. And you get to know the birds, you get to see all that beautiful out there, it's out there waiting on you, just waiting on you.
God's glory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he filled the sky with them, especially when it's springtime like this. He filled the sky with brand new stuff coming in. And brand new birds, little bitty sparrows, they be coming in. They haven't got grown. They're not grown, not yet, but after a while they're gonna be grown. By summertime they're gonna be bigger.
Yep.
But they out there twinkling and singing and everything else. So God's put all that beautiful stuff around us where we can pay attention to it sometime,
He sure did.
Look up in the sky sometime and look at it. Because, we don't have to do anything, nothing but behold it, the beauty out there that what God wants us to see.
That's true. He wants us to look at the abundance.
Yeah.
And there's so much abundance out in nature, and looking at all the sky and all the birds like you were saying and stuff. And sometimes when we're just working all the time, we lose sight of the fact that there's nothing but abundance for us, because we're so busy, just our narrow minds just so busy just working. So walking is so good to, help you get into like a meditative mind where you can be free. Is that how you feel when you walk?
Oh yeah. After after I get through walking, I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Not hurting nowhere, so why not? Just get out there. And sometimes you forget all about your hurt.
Right.
Just concentrate and just walk. And
That's true.
He'll take care of you just like he's taking care of all the birds and the squirrels out there. He feeding them. We don't even have to feed them.
Right.
Everything that he did was good. Everything. He did was great. And he feed them, and we don't even have to pay for it.
Right.
All of it's free. All their food is free.
Yep.
They got all the water they can drink. Got all the food out there that they can eat. So that's the reason why they be singing.
Yeah.
They don't look for us to feed them.
That's
so
right.
God is a wonderful God because he feeds all of them. And
That's right.
And it's free. We
and
don't
he
even
have
have to
them
pay
as
for
a
it.
reminder to remind us that if he cared about the sparrow, then you know that he cared for us. Just give him the cares and the burdens.
That's right. He'll take, like he's taking care of them birds and them squirrels. He's giving them all the food that they can eat every day. Everybody get enough food. And at the end of the day, everybody go back home.
Right.
And they sleep and then wake back up chirping again and trying to find more food for the little babies.
Right.
And the mamas and daddies going out to get the food for them to bring to the little babies.
Right.
So I mean, if you look at that, that's where we supposed to be.
Right.
If the birds and the animals feeding their children, why we should have that more get up and go about ourselves too and feed our children the same way. And he put that love in them birds and everything, all the little animals. He put that love in all of them, even the ants. He put the love in the ants and everything. They got a row going back and forth.
Oh, the ants be working hard.
So they be working hard to satisfy their queen, to feed, to bring food in where everybody can eat.
That's right. That's right.
And they be working hard too. So if he got the animals doing stuff like that, and we should be even doing even greater things,
That's so true.
In this world.
Yep.
Helping out one another. That's what family is all about.
That's right.
Helping out one another.
It just reminds you of the kingdom. It say, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things that we need are added to us.
That's right.
Well, the animals are showing us the kingdom.
That's right.
They showing us the kingdom. They have no cares. They just go out and just trust. They trust that they're going to get what they need when they go out every day.
That's right.
And when you're out walking and you're talking and meditating to God, you're seeing this happen as the animals are playing, and the animals they're just fine. So if he loved the animals like that, he loved us like that. That's why he wants us to be free and carefree and trust in him, just like the animals trust in him, Yeah. So they just showing you an example of the kingdom when you go out and walk. That's why I call it my glory to God walks. I call it my glory walks because, it reminds me that no matter what stress I'm going through, no matter what is going on in my life, if I just give it to God, just seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and everything I need will be added to me. And we watching this with the animals. And, he would talk about how he would go out walking every day, and I would hear him talk about this and like, wow, he has a cane. He walks with a cane. You had surgeries, right?
Oh yeah, I had titanium kneecap. I had a kneecap put in. It's a titanium kneecap. I had a hip replacement, and then on my other side is kind of getting stiff. That's the reason why I go out and exercise, and I motivate this side because I'm having a little trouble with that. So it's helping when I get out to start walking and standing on my feet, and I don't stand on there long. I don't beat myself up. When I get tired, I turn around and sit down, and rest a little bit, and then get right back up and go again. But you got to do a lot of stretches. You got to stretch yourself. You got to, get your leg out, move about, move in different angles. That's stretching yourself, getting yourself ready to walk. You get yourself ready to walk. So moving your arms, all kind of ways and stuff. To get your limbs loosened up. Then when you get there, then you start out. You put a smile on your face and start walking.
And see, I was thinking about, marching like Dr. Martin Luther King and stuff like that. When you was growing up, you saw firsthand of how they got out there and was doing the marches and how powerful they felt getting out there marching.
Oh, it was real powerful. That was a real powerful time at that time. I was about his age then. He was a little bit older than I was then, but I was like in my teenage days,
Oh, okay. Wow.
So and then I saw him when he was going to college and stuff like that. Some of the college he was going to, but I saw how it really happened. He started ministering in his father's church and stuff like that, and nonviolent movement. That's where he was standing. That was his movement was nonviolent. He stood for nonviolent, but the rest of them, he had a lot of people that wanted to fight. They wanted to go into a fight, and he said, no, we don't do it like this. We're going to do it like God say do it.
Like God say do it.
And we're going to do it with nonviolent. Even though they got knocked down, they got spit on, and everything happened to them.
Yeah.
But still, again, they still got right back up and kept going. But
they knew they had the victory. He knew that we was going to have the victory. He had a vision. Right. He know
it was going. He know there was going to be some movement, like violent movement, but God was with him all the way. And he know that God was with him all the way. That's the reason why he kept on going. He had to motivate himself. If nobody don't motivate you, you have to motivate yourself to keep going.
Motivate yourself to keep going, despite of all the stuff that they was going through.
That's right.
How did that make you feel watching that as a young adult?
Well, it was a scary times then. I didn't know what to think of it. But some of the peoples really got hurt behind that, and some didn't. They put them in jail. They just go to jail, and then they come right back out, and they get another movement going. But everything that they did it right. They didn't fight nobody. They wasn't fighting nobody. They wasn't cussing nobody out. They wasn't doing nothing. They was just singing they Christian songs,
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome, and we ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Turn me around, turn me around, turn me around.
Turn me around.
And they were saying that, ain't we gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. We gonna let nobody turn me around. We gonna keep on marching, keep on marching, marching in Jesus' name.
I love that. I love that.
And he had a lot of ministers behind him.
Yes, he did.
To bag him up and everything. And a lot of ministers, I mean, it was not just black ministers, it was black and white ministers was right there beside him. And Jewish peoples and Gentiles. He had all kind of people
Whites,
marching
blacks,
with him.
yeah, that's true.
And they was up front. And I didn't, I would look at it on the sideline, but our mamas were trying to get us to come home. We had to go home early. Mm-hmm. We had to be home before it get dark.
That's right.
That was the whole thing about the neighborhood. They looked out for each other's.
Mm-hmm.
The neighborhood really was looking out for one another at that time.
And see, he grew up in Atlanta. He grew up not too far from Ebenezer Baptist Church, which was his church.
Yeah.
So, the spirit and the hype and the vision of the whole movement, I'm sure that affected you as far as like overcoming challenges that you would have to overcome later on, right?
Mm-hmm. See, I was in Vine City, and most of the Vine City was all black. Mm-hmm. Vine City was all black. Mm-hmm. Between there and Morehouse College, mm-hmm. and up there by Morehouse College and Washington High. See, I went to Washington High School also.
Okay, yeah, that's.
And we had to walk. I walked to Washington High School. We didn't have no buses to drive us there. We walked. We walked everywhere we went. And
totally different from now. We drive everywhere.
Totally different. So, and as you walk, the neighborhood looked out for you. They looked out for the children and things like that. Mm-hmm. They know your name too. They see you every day. So you get to know your neighbors more. Our neighborhood real close to us that we can run in their house or knock on their doors if we was in trouble or something like that. And they was always giving you food. They call you in the house and you get you food. Give each other food. You didn't go hungry because you had the neighborhood. We had a garden every year in our backyard. We had a garden in our backyard. We had chickens in our backyard, so we wasn't lacking for anything. Some of us, not everybody had chickens, but majority of the people in Vine City, they had a garden in their backyard, and we always shared our food out of our garden to our neighbors. We always did that, and that was free.
Mm-hmm. Michelle Williams is watching, and she said hello, and she had a question for you. Uh-huh. She wanted to know how far was the walk. I think she's talking about when you used to walk to Washington High School.
Oh, it was like, where Vine City and Mary McLeod Bethune, from there.
She don't know because she's in Alaska.
Oh.
Wow. So how long you think it was, like a mile or two?
Well, I think it was about 2 or 3 miles.
2 or 3 miles.
Yeah.
Wow. Every day.
Every day.
There and back.
There and back.
Wow.
Well, we took our time, walking back and forth from to school. Mm-hmm. And we get up early in the morning and start out.
See, your generation, y'all used to that. Like, and my mom is in the same generation too, so she still have a custom of getting out and walking and going to the track and stuff, and walking. And, she used to try to encourage me to do that when I was younger and everything. But, I grew up in a time where we like to play with the Nintendo and Atari and stuff like that, video games. Mm-hmm. But you guys, y'all were accustomed to walking, I believe, more. And I think that benefited you guys longer now. That's why a lot of you guys are, the baby boomers, y'all are a little more healthier in your later years than a lot of us in our 30s and 40s, because you guys had that head start of actually walking and being active.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And another thing, we had the boys club. Mm-hmm. We had the boys club in our neighborhood. So the boys club was very good, in our neighborhood, because most of all the teenagers and all the young people, they be down there in the boys club playing basketball, or in the pool room playing pool. On the wrestling mat, they have a wrestling mat. You play wrestling. They have a swimming team. So Swain, he was one of the lifeguard. It was down there. You swim. They teach you how to swim. Teach you how to play basketball. You have a wrestling mat.
Y'all was active. And it's a lot of people that's becoming more active now that we're more conscious of it now. Now that we're finding out about this processed food and finding out, we're more conscious now than, I say maybe about 10 years ago, where we're more intentional about doing more activities and having the kids do more activities. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that people like me and people like you talking about this will bring even more awareness to people to just, be active, so that, when they get 79 years old, like you, mm-hmm. they'll still be able to take care of themselves and have their own place. I mean, he has his own place. He take care of himself. He keeps it clean and immaculate and, very independent. And, he's reaping the rewards because of, the way he took care of himself at a younger age, and we have an opportunity now. Right. To turn it around. But those of us who don't, because a lot of us, like, I lost hope for a while when I was 275, and a lot of people that I'm reaching out to now, they're kind of in that state of mind now, but they're just like me, only in their 30s and 40s. What would you tell them, like, being now at 79 and they're only in their 30s and 40s? What would you tell them, those that, losing hope on, getting the weight off and getting healthy again?
Well, you have to motivate yourself like she motivated herself, because everybody's not going to really tell you, and everybody's not going to motivate you to do the right thing, or know how to eat and stuff like this. See, I'm a chef by, anyway, and I know about food, period, and it's
he does. He's going to be teaching us about food.
and it's what you eat and how you eat it.
Mm-hmm.
When you get older, you can't eat all this sweet stuff and all this stuff that you used to be when you're young. You take your potato chips and you eat them potato chips. Well, that's done. Well, you can't eat like that. You got to eat real food. Put real food in your stomach. Yeah. You got your vegetables and you got your certain meats that you eat, but you eat in moderation. You don't just gobble it down and eat a lot of it and stuff like that and get used to eating like that. You eat in moderation.
So are you saying they need to get used to cooking their own food again?
You need to get used to cooking your own food where you can know exactly what's going in it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I tell them a lot too. Just
knowing the recipe, but you have to know exactly what what kind of food you eat and stuff like this. And we got food coming from all over the world. But see, we never ate like that. Certain food we never ate like that. Then you eat in moderation. You can taste it. You can eat like that. Eat the food, but and enjoy it. But you do it in moderation. You don't gobble it up, and stuff like that. You eat in portions.
And he lost a lot of weight too, guys.
Yeah, I was out there.
Yeah.
And when I retired,
he had the Dunlaps too.
when I retired, I have to know. I know that I had to lose the weight that I had because it wouldn't have did me any good.
Yeah, especially with that knee surgery and stuff like that.
That's right. I would have been too heavy for it, and then it would really cause me problems.
Michelle Williams asked you a question. She said, was the boys club free? And she also asked, do you ever eat potato chips now? I don't think you weren't saying not to eat it. You were saying to eat it in moderation. If you can, if you're not a junk food addict like I was. But she was asking, like, do you eat that kind of stuff now?
No, I don't eat that kind of stuff now. But,
good question, Michelle.
Because I know how old I am, and I know, I'm got too old to be going around eating a whole lot of food like that with a lot of salt in it. And salt is the main thing. You start putting a lot of salt in you, and you talking about you have all kind of ailments later on, like high blood pressure and all different kind of things that come from diseases and everything. See, when you get older, it get worse on you. Then you need something that is going to be good for more so good for the body because you're getting older.
But see, you grew up with moms and grandmas that cook real food.
Well,
so you never was into the junk food type stuff like that.
And that's true because we ate a lot of fruit and stuff. We had seasonal fruit that we ate a lot of, like peaches. Like this was the peach capital. We had a peach tree.
In Georgia, this is the peach capital.
We had a peach tree all over the neighborhood then. Nowadays, you cannot find not one peach tree in Vine City. I don't know what happened to them. They just all disappeared. But this was the peach capital. We had peaches. Everybody in the neighborhood had a peach tree. You can go up the street, go over here, over there. You can get a peach and that big peach and eat it. It was free. Everything was free.
Everything was free.
And you talk about lunch. You have that for lunch.
Right.
You have pear trees here in Atlanta. You chunk on a big, nice pear. Nice soft pear. And that was down there by Washington High School. They had them big pear tree down there. I go down there, I get hungry. Before I go home, I go to that place, and it's on that corner. It used to be on that corner. The big pear tree used to be on that corner where the library used to be. I'd get me one of them pears and go home eating the pear. And when I get home, and Mama had the food ready.
But see, one thing you said that was key too that I heard, it was seasonal. This was seasonal. Y'all had these fruits. It wasn't every day. You know how we can go into the grocery store now and we can buy all this fruit and stuff every single day of the year. We can eat these fruits. That's where nature and modern age fight. Our bodies are not made to just eat these fruits year-round all the time, every single day, 5 or 6 times a day, like how they telling us to do. They keep your insulin level high. But see, y'all only had those fruits seasonally. And y'all ate it once the season was over. Y'all didn't eat them like that.
No, we didn't eat them like that.
Right.
Because that was Washington State apples was coming to us then, because we didn't. We go to different states. They be bringing stuff into
The grocery store.
grocery stores, and the farmers market. We had one farmers market. We had the old-fashioned farmers market.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
All them farmers used to be coming from out of town, coming to the farmers market. That's where all our food, vegetables, nice vegetables and stuff coming out. Our collard greens, and our turnip salad, and all our good vegetables be coming. Seasonal vegetables be coming in. So then we go there and get that.
Yes.
And Watson was seasonal. They didn't cost that much then because everybody had a garden. Everybody helped themselves. If you couldn't afford it, you get something from your neighbor. If they didn't have no money,
Michelle said, she said that it looks like watermelon is being sold year round now. I don't understand that. And that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
watermelon have a high sugar content and people eating it year round. We're not supposed to eat that year round.
Well, the watermelons is not grow here in Atlanta like that, not all year round, but they come from other places.
Right.
They come from out of town. That comes from out of town.
And see, if we kept up with the seasons like God intended when He have us growing these things season by season, we wouldn't get ourselves in all this trouble.
Well, the fruit then tasted better when you get your stuff in season. True. Like the fruits then was more sweeter tasting and the more robust flavor, coming from the
more
fruit.
Nutrients in it.
Yeah. And it's what we really needed then,
Right. So they depleting they depleting the soil by planting these all the time, every year, all the time for money. And when you're depleting the soil, that the taste of it is different because it don't have the same vitamins and minerals that God intended for them to have.
That's right. Because,
like when you was little.
Right, because that's why they had the almanac. The almanac tell them when to do this and when to do that and when to do this. And when you plant stuff over here in this field, well, the next year you will not plant in this field.
Y'all hearing
you
this?
Putting more nutritious things in that field to wake it up. Then you go to the next field and you plant. And then your crop come up, and then you getting this field prepared to be planted for the next year.
Right.
That's how they did it from season to season. They switch up like that. And,
but they ain't doing that now.
And that means that it don't be poisons, it don't be nothing poison or anything. But I don't know how they do it now, but that's the way it's supposed to be done, But
they're using the same field all the time. Industrial revolution changed that, where they're using the same field all the time, depleting all the minerals out of that same soil. It's not even fertile anymore.
Yeah, but you have to.
That's why they got to use all them chemicals to make it grow.
Yeah, you have to enrich your soil where it can grow good vegetables. If you don't do that, you wear out the soil, and you will have no kind of nourishment in the soil, and then you'll dry it out. It'll be like a desert. But you have to switch up sometime, and when you switch up, it's much better for you.
And you used to have your own garden.
I used to have my garden every year.
Every year.
I used to have a garden, and all my boys, and I started teaching my boys how to bring up a garden every year.
And with you being a chef, that
I know how to cook it, know how to prepare it, and everything out there. I'm an international chef, so I know about international cooking.
chef, world class, right here.
And I know how to not just only cook soul food. I know how to cook international food. I mean, that means food comes from all over the world, how they do it, and how they cook it.
Right.
German food, I know how to cook German, Oriental foods. I know how to do that, but I don't know exactly. When you master everything, then you're a master chef. I'm not no master chef, but I know how a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I know how to do a little bit of everything. When it comes down to cooking something like that, because I work beside German chefs, French chefs, you know, and Dutch chef, and his name was Van Dyke. This Dutch chef used to work at Rich's downtown Rich's store, that main Rich's store downtown.
That was Macy's. Before Macy's took over Rich's. That was before that.
Right. I was production chef at Rich's, cooking for all Rich's branch stores and sending the food out. That's what I did. And Van Dyke, he was the head chef. He was the executive chef at Rich's. And he taught me how to do that, you know. We had a butcher room, my own butcher room. All the hamburgers I made all the hamburgers because we had a machine there. I cut up the meat and ground it up, you know, 2 times into ground beef, and then put it in the hopper. Made the hamburgers, 2.5 pound hamburgers, all different kind of sizes of hamburgers. Salisbury steaks. Made meatloaf. When I got over to the Congress Center, we started cutting out the steaks for all the big parties over there.
He worked for the World Congress Center.
I was the first chef in the door.
First chef. And he's black.
First black chef.
First black chef.
In the door. And went over there with Dave Ball. Dave Ball, he was one of the head chefs. He came from he used to work on the luxury liners. So him and we went over to the Congress Center together. Well, he didn't last that long. He passed. In about 5 years he passed. And then they sent Gert over there, this German chef, to help me out. But I had some great chefs work with me, and it's been wonderful.
He did the inauguration.
Yeah, I did Jimmy Carter inauguration over there. Me and Gert did the Jimmy Carter inauguration over there. Yeah.
Met a lot of prominent people.
Yeah.
George Bush.
George Bush. I met George Bush over there. I got a picture in the book to show you what me and him was side by side, you know, standing there at the elevator.
I'll share that picture online.
He was fitting to go downstairs, go home downstairs. We fed him in the ballroom kitchen. I mean, in the ballroom, you know. So he was fitting to go downstairs on the main elevator that took him all the way downstairs where he can go and get in this limousine. But yeah.
And it's amazing because you didn't start off being a chef. You started off being a sheriff, a deputy.
Yeah.
What gave you the courage to change like that? Because we're going to be talking about the courage to change.
Well, then, you know, it all become when I was a teenager. Me and my brother, we was working at the Riviera Hotel. And I was working 2 jobs at that time. I was working at the Riviera Hotel. And then when I got old enough, then I wanted to become I wanted a second job. I wasn't even married, and I was jumping all over the place, and then when we got out of school, me and John Henry, we started wanting to be in the clubs, you know, be a bouncer. That's what
Bouncer,
he was, a
yeah.
bouncer.
Yeah, not dancing in the club, actually working in the club as a bouncer.
Yeah, and we had a black outfit. We worked all the black nightclubs here in Atlanta. We started off working all the black nightclubs here in Atlanta. The American Legion Hotel. I mean, the American Legion.
Yeah.
We worked there. And the casino, we worked at. And all the black nightclubs here in Atlanta, we worked at those. And it wasn't enough for us. We just spread it out. And then we had to train ourselves, but we had an officer was helping us out, telling us what the rules and regulations was, you know, and everything. But he worked with us and it helped us get our charter. Well, we got our charter from Sheriff Stitchcomb. His name was Stitchcomb at that time. We got our charter where we can get our guns and stuff. But we didn't wear our guns in the club. We wore our guns when we was on the outside. We didn't wear those guns. We didn't hang a gun on us where we could shoot people. No, we didn't do that. But we did that to protect people.
To protect, yeah.
We had our billy sticks and stuff like that and went on the inside.
Yeah.
And to make sure everybody is acting right. And before the customer come in, we always search them down, make sure that they don't have no knives, no guns, and nothing on them was a weapon. And then if they did have it, I had a whole little box right here and put them in the box. And they will come back the next day to pick them up because I had fosters to lock them in the safe at that time. And they had to come back the next day to pick them up. But we didn't allow nothing like that to go inside the
club and stuff.
And inside the clubs. So if they got mad or something like that, they didn't have no weapon when they got out there, you know, in the parking lots, because we was guarding the parking lots too. We watched everybody come out the parking lot, make sure everybody get in their cars and they go home. So we didn't have too much of that. If they got in a fight, they didn't have no gun to fight with, you know, and then, you know. But we didn't have too much of that, you know.
So what made you go from that to just becoming a chef? Because, you know, you had problems with reading and stuff like that, and you was already had that, and also being a black man at that time. What gave you the courage to go after your dream of being a chef? Because that was your dream. Well,
I had my dream, I wanted to be a state trooper.
Oh, okay.
That was my dream. I wanted to be a state trooper.
Yeah.
Because I saw them boys how they worked, and they worked it right.
Yeah.
It wasn't no police when they were state troopers, but I really wanted to be a state trooper. But I wanted to cook also.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was cooking at that time. And I was working 2 jobs. I was cooking, and Friday and Saturdays and Sundays, I worked in nightclubs at night. So I had plenty of time to switch up. I worked at night at the clubs, and in the morning times, I get up, I'll be a little sleepy, and then I go to work. But I didn't work no Saturday and Sunday, so but I work, you know, in the kitchen. You know, Saturday and Sunday I was off on my cooking job.
So
So that
working
gave
in the
me,
kitchen, that gave you insight on becoming a chef, and then like you said, when you were getting married, you wanted to be more safe.
well, when I got married, before I got married, when I got married, I know that I had to put the sheriff department down because I know it was dangerous, more dangerous, and I didn't want to frighten her. I have no, I didn't want to scare her, and stuff like that because I was a sheriff. But I was going with her when I was a sheriff and a chef. But when we got married, then I put down being a sheriff.
You had to choose to.
I had to choose.
Yeah.
So what I chose the something that I really liked, and that was cooking. So I just kept on going like that,
And that had to been hard, like I said, being the first black chef and everything, and with your disability of not being able to read certain things, you had to learn how to use your taste and your instincts on how to make different recipes and stuff.
Well, my grandmama and my mama and my family, they was cooks. They worked at the Henry Grady Hotel downtown in Atlanta when I was small. So I always wanted to really do something like cook. Cook a little bit of this, because when I was small, I used to try to cook this and cook that, and my grandmama said, "Oh boy, get on back. You don't know what you're doing." But before she passed, I got to fix her some liver and onions, and I did it like this Jewish person told me how to do it, because I was working part-time in a Jewish store, and they butcher, and they said, "Boy, you behind the counter trying to be a butcher?" I said, "I am a butcher." I pumped my own self up. I said, "I am a butcher." I was
There you go.
small then.
He was speaking things that are not as though they were, okay?
But,
he was affirming himself.
But I was working in this little Jewish family store, neighborhood store, and right there in Vine City, and I started in there cutting meat and everything. My mama come in there and she started laughing at me. Then she bring me some lunch. I said, "Mama, I don't need no lunch." I said, "I got lunch and meat back here. I can make me a sandwich." And Miss Ann, she told her, she said, "Yeah, he got a little stove back there. He could make a sandwich or something." And her name was Miss Ann, and the name of the store was Paul Supermarket, and Mr. Paul, he passed, and then Miss Ann, she kept it going for a while, and then she let it go. She had to let the store go, and then when I started working for Richards, then I got me when I was cooking at the
In the department,
at
I
the
remember.
Riviera.
Yeah.
When I was cooking at the Riviera, then I started telling my little brother used to follow me all the time, all around. And I pulled him with me. And him and I, when I was working at the Riviera, we were bus boys then. Me and him were bus boys. But my friend, I was older than my brother, so he kept on bus boying, and I started helping the bartender, mix drinks, because they know I didn't drink. So they got me over there. Come over here,
They knew you weren't gonna take a nibble and a sip.
So when he got slammed, he held me back there. You know, I be fixing sodas. For peoples. Give them sodas. And my friend, he come there. I give him a soda, and then he give me a sandwich. That was my friend, and he was almost the same age I was, but he was a little bit older than I was. He was cooking, and when he got paid, and when he got killed, they put me in his place, and then I started doing the breakfast station. They put me on the breakfast station, and then that's when I started cooking.
So.
And then that black chef, he took me up on his arm, and then I started doing prime ribs, doing private parties.
Good. Prime rib.
Mm-hmm. Started doing private parties over cross from the thing there. They had another place where they do private parties, so he did it like that. It was like a dining room or something like that, And we tiled prime ribs and stuff like that, and he was teaching me how to tile prime rib, prepare prime ribs and stuff like that. And we did it the old-fashioned way.
So do you think that it was God leading you and guiding you into that direction where people would come and mentor you and show you different things along the way to help you learn as you go like that?
That's how I learned. And I learned that was my talent. That's what I had to do. Mm-hmm. See, from there, then I started learning about seasonings, and all kinds of seasonings come from all over the world. Mm-hmm. So if you learn all your seasonings and stuff like that, come from all over the world, you can put together anything. Mm-hmm. And I had to memorize all the recipes that I did. I had to memorize that by heart.
Mm-hmm. So that had to have been tough, with you not being able to, read it, but you were able to memorize as you watch others teach you those things.
Yeah. And I thank God, if it was between me and God, he instilled that in me anyway. Mm-hmm. He brought that out of me,
Because it was your talent.
And I started memorizing the things that I did, and now looking at other people, how they do things, and how they decorate stuff, and about garnish, and taught me all thing about garnish and stuff like that. And I watched all the waiters do fantastic table settings, like French service and French settings and stuff like that. And the major D's, I saw them go out in the dining room and do flambés and stuff like that. I seen some fantastic stuff coming from them real chefs. Some real chefs.
Real chefs.
It wasn't no just anybody that's doing this stuff. They felt what they were doing. Then I started feeling what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And everything really came directly out. Everything that I did, I felt it. You're supposed to taste everything that you do. Yeah. You don't over season this and over season that. You learn your own self how to do that. Mm-hmm. And those guys, most of them guys, they went to school for that. I didn't go to school for that. They went to culinary school.
School of hard knocks. Mm-hmm. Well, like a lot of my people that are in my audience, they're looking to turn from eating junk food or eating out all the time to eating real food. And a lot of them think that they have to actually be a chef like you, or know a whole lot about recipes in order to cook real food. What would you tell someone who just trying to learn how to cook instead of eating out, and they have like 100 pounds to lose or something like that? what would you tell them how they can start off?
Well, they can first start off how your parent was feeding you long years ago without you going out spending money. You know, you have to learn, you have to get in there and you have to motivate your own self to, you have to learn a little bit at a time. You can't learn everything at one, you know, like that. Do it just a little bit at a time. A little bit of this. If you get one recipe and start off with that one recipe, and you break it down with everything you put in there, you know, everything that goes in that recipe. Mm-hmm. You start off right there, just like meatloaf. Now I can do meatloaf 3 and 4 different kind of ways.
We would do it the keto low carb way, but yeah, I know what you mean.
So you have to learn how to. Once you learn how to do it 3 and 4 ways like that, mm-hmm. you can break that down and say, well, instead of me using ground beef, I can use ground turkey. Mm-hmm. Because ground turkey don't have a lot of fat in it. But you have to learn how to make that ground turkey taste like that meatloaf.
So
in order for you
keep it simple.
Right, keep it simple. It's going to cook faster than that ground beef mm-hmm. because it's so light. See, turkey is real light. It's a light product, and it's very it's light. It's not heavy like ground beef, you know.
That's if you have a problem with eating beef and stuff mm-hmm. like that. Yeah.
Just in case.
Learning the substitute,
right.
This and that. Mm-hmm. But just starting off with little simple things, like not, you know, just something that they can just cook fast in the oven, like a roasted chicken or something like that, as opposed to going to KFC and getting their chicken from there. Mm-hmm. At least you know what's in your food when you're cooking it yourself, and just keeping it simple, like some chicken and some vegetables.
Right.
Just like that.
Well, the way I do, you can dice up your onions and peppers, mm-hmm. and onion, celery, peppers, mm-hmm. and you can put carrots in it, but you have to thin your carrots out a little bit, what can be thin. And then you season it. You season your vegetables up, and then you put just a little oil on them, and then you spread it out. Mm-hmm. And then you season your chicken up front and back, and put the chicken directly on the vegetables like
Y'all
that.
Hearing that?
That means all the flavor will go directly into the chicken as it cooks, and you cook it open. You can cook it open, or you can cook it closed. And you won't burn up the vegetables when you close it up. But you soften the vegetables. The vegetable gets soft, and that flavor just goes directly into the chicken. And that make that chicken jump up. I mean, you have...
We're going to have him on again to show us more recipes, okay? Because he could go on and on about recipes. We're going to do that more and more, guys, because, you know, like Demaya was saying yesterday, that last week, that she could cook a little bit, but not a lot. Well, he's going to give us some more recipes that we can turn around and make it our low-carb options for you guys that think that you can't do this because you don't know how to cook. Yes, you can. You can cook. We're not gonna leave you behind, so we're gonna help you in that department. But Mr. Robert, because you walk with a cane and everything, you know, so some people in our group was talking about, hey Jackie, I was just about to mention you. Jackie was saying that sometimes her knee hurts, and I was telling her that it could be like, you know, different inflammation and stuff going on to keep going. What do you do when you feeling like your knee hurt or you have any different pains, but you still feel like you want to keep moving, keep walking?
Well, the thing about that is, I never been sick in my life. The only time I got sick is when my knee was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the doctor to see about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't pass that up. You always go and see about something that's hurting, because you never know what's going on with your body.
Mm-hmm. But
So,
now that you got that done.
But now that I got that done, it don't even hurt me no more.
So does your body sometimes tell you, oh, you got this stiffness, ache, and pain, but then once you start walking, it stops? Because that used to happen to me.
Well, the thing about that is, when you have stiffness and you got pain, sometimes it'll ease up. But you have to stretch your body out. You know, you have to do some stretches. And you have to take your time. You have to listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. And you do the stretches, and then you do the exercise, not real hard, but you do it easy. You easy go it like that. And you get your mind on something else, and you get more and more and more looser. Your body will get more looser. And then most of the time, that's all you need. And you don't eat a whole lot of food at the time you're going to be doing your exercise, you know. You don't eat a whole lot of food, but you do eat, because you do need to eat, because that's going to give you strength to do whatever you're doing. Your body need that nourishment. I'm not saying don't eat. No, your body need the nourishment. If you eat and you drink nothing but water, you don't need no whole lot of Coca-Colas in you. You don't need no whole lot of carbonated drinks.
This stuff causes inflammation, y'all.
Because
Coca-Cola, all that.
Because I used to gobble up Coca-Colas and all that, and that's how. But I don't. I
used to gobble it up.
I used to gobble it up. But I don't eat like that no more. And I mean, I don't drink like that no more. I don't drink no carbonated drinks. The only drinks I drink is a lot of water, because the water is good for your body. That's what God intended for that to go into your system. Not a whole lot of liquor.
Liquor causes inflammation too.
Not a whole lot of sodas. Because there's a lot of
sugar
and stuff, and syrups. You see, they put syrup with that with them carbonated drinks, and that syrup is the sugar that goes into your body, you know, and that's what making people's be hurting and stuff like that. You don't need that in your system.
Right.
You can blow it out with the water. The water is main thing. Water is for your body.
Right.
That's what God intends for you to do. To drink a lot
Healing
of water.
Healing water.
And if you're gonna drink juices, don't drink no real acid juices. You know, not a whole lot of acid juices. I drink apple juice and stuff like that, and that's it.
Yeah.
And water. That's all I take in my body.
A lot of us don't drink juice right now because we're insulin resistant and we're trying to heal that. But yes, a lot of fasting with water. Water fasting is what a lot of us are doing, and that's helping us heal that inflammation.
Right.
Because that all that gobbling down that sodas, wasn't that making you have a big gut?
Well, that's what blows you up.
Yep. I told y'all.
Once I stopped drinking sodas, my stomach went down. And I was telling my son,
my husband,
stop drinking them sodas, and then your stomach will go down. And he came back and told me, he said, "Daddy, you know you were right." I said, "I told you," because that stuff blows up your stomach.
Yep. So if you want to know where your big stomach coming from, it's coming from all that sugar and them sodas, all that stuff with all that sugar in it. It goes straight to your liver. Your liver push it out into your gut, and that's why we get the big guts. That's where it come from.
And your liver can't hold all that stuff.
Nope. The liver is a filter, and it pushes it out into the fat cells.
Very important thing.
To try to keep your body from being poisoned. That's why it's called the liver, because it's trying to help you live. And it's trying to deliver you from the poison that you're putting in your system.
And once you get older, you need your liver.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you wear out your liver, then you have to go to dialysis.
Oh, yeah. You talking about kidneys, too?
So
yeah.
I didn't know that
Kidneys
there was so many dialysis in these neighborhoods. There's a lot of dialysis in these neighborhoods.
Talk about it.
And that's what really taking people's out.
Talk about it.
Because you have to have the dialysis in order to live. Because your liver is gone. It's gone.
Your kidneys, yeah. The kidneys
your kidneys are gone.
Your kidneys filter out your blood and stuff.
But if somebody
But when you have diabetes, the high sugar and the insulin from the diabetes in the black neighborhood, in the black bodies, I guess because of our genetics, it affects our kidneys more than it affects other races. That's why you seeing all these dialysis centers on every corner in the predominantly black neighborhoods now. And I remember you telling me when you was on the bus, you were seeing them just popping up everywhere, like across the street from one another, next to the fast food joints.
Oh, it was scared. That really scared me because when I started riding motor mobility to work, we had to go back and forth to work. That's when I started seeing all them dialysis clinic coming up. I didn't realize it was so much in our black neighborhood. I mean, you have 2 and 3 in the same area sometime, you know.
Yep.
And they be they be the motor mobility. They be taking them their customers straight there. And I mean, it'd be a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And then they be taking them, you know, so many up and at a certain time of the day, it start easing off because they be getting all the people that really need that treatment in there where they can have their treatment, and it's very, 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 very important for them to go and get it done. You know? So I just felt sorry for them because I had a few people, you know, in my family that had died from that. You know, these are triplets. They was going to die. Well, the daddy started off first, and then the triplets, they had to go to dialysis. And my uncle had 2 sets of triplets. He had 1 single girl and 2 sets of triplets. And I saw what it really did to them, and other people's that I know, you know, went there, and not just only my people, some other people also. And I just, you know, feel so sorry for them. And the doctors are not really going to tell you.
They don't know
how to really keep yourself in good shape, you know.
It's our responsibility,
And after a certain age, you have to stop doing what you're doing. Like all this liquor and all this dope and stuff like that. It's not good for your body.
No.
Our body was made, you know, this is the temple of Almighty God. Your body is the temple of Almighty God.
These are our palaces, y'all.
And we're not supposed to really destroy ourselves like that, you know. Sure, we having a good time at the time. We're not thinking about that, but we have to really think about that sometime. we can have a good time, but not overdose in the things that we do.
When you know better, you do better. And that's what this is about. This is about awareness. And Michelle asked that, she said, what about sparkling water? It's carbonated too, I think. Sparkling water is fine. We're not talking about the actual part about the carbonation. Yes, carbonation mixed with the sugar and the sodas is bad. But you can still have carbonated water. Remember I told y'all can have those bubblies if you're trying to get away from sodas. It's a good treat, okay? Drink mostly regular water, but if you want to have a treat every now and then, you know, because you like the fizz and stuff like how I like, you can treat yourself with a sparkling water, okay? Not the kind with the sugar, but the kind that don't have no sugar and it's just water and it's sparkling. That's fine, like Perrier and bubbly and all that. There's nothing wrong with having that as a treat every now and then. He talking about the sugar and the syrup that's in those carbonated drinks. That's what blow up your stomach. Mm-hmm. Because the liver don't know what to do with that sugar. So it pushes it into your fat cells. It causes you to have organ fat or visceral fat. That's what that is. Mm-hmm. And that's what caused us to have the big guts. That's why some people look like they have a beer belly and they don't even drink beer. Because it's a sugar belly. And I had that, y'all.
And you be bloated and stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm. So that's fine to have, Michelle. I enjoy those myself, you know. Mm-hmm. But not the sodas. Not those sugary drinks. That's killing us. And it's killing everybody that get diabetes. But what we're talking about in the black community, for some reason, with I guess the way our bodies are made, it affects our kidneys more than other race. Like the South Asians, like the Indians, when they get diabetes, it gives them more heart disease first. So a lot of them, they look slim, but they have a lot of fat inside, and they get heart disease more. But the black community, it would affect our kidneys first before it affects our heart. So that's why we're seeing all these dialysis clinics. Like in Atlanta where we at, there's a dialysis clinic on every corner. And that's what he was talking about, how sad it would be when he would see all those clinics just popping up everywhere all of a sudden. And the reason why is because we're eating this junk, garbage food. We're eating this ultra processed garbage and drinking all these sodas and alcohol and all that stuff.
You have to change what you eat.
You have to change what you eat. When you know better, you do better. This is what this is about. This is about awareness. And until a person get angry enough to change, then, you know, they can't do it. I had to get angry enough to change. Like
you had to get angry enough to make that change.
He know?
And now you are slimmer. You are slimmer than I ever seen you. I ain't never seen you like that.
Slimmer than I ever seen you. What you talking about? But I feel healthy. That's the most important thing.
You look healthier in everything. Yeah, you look real healthy now.
And if I could do it, anybody can do it, can't they?
If you can do it, anybody could do that. If you can get your weight down, like she got her weight down, you on the way to be successful, mm-hmm. and not being real sick all the time.
And that's what that was about. I was approaching 45, and I knew that if I didn't do something now.
And she got more energy now than ever.
Yeah.
But you still have to eat right.
Yeah.
It's not about being slim. Now you have to, when you get like this here, then you have to eat right.
You have to make sure you stay eating right. That's why I talk about it. That's why I say, when I say that they have all this junk food at work, you know, they had like this past week, they had the Easter stuff. They had the cakes and the sugar those sugar cookies with icings and on it and stuff. And I know they watching me too, so that I have to lead by example as well. But it's not worth it to me to go back to eating junk food. Because first, I know what it is. I know it's poison. I know we're not supposed to have it now. Thank God for knowledge. The Bible say, through knowledge, the just is delivered. But, you know, I know that I'm a leader. I have to lead by example as well, you know. And people come and ask me questions. Like yesterday, people asked me questions on how they can do it. And I showed them the video of me, my before picture in the video. And one lady, one of the supervisors said, did you feel like that lady that you were in that picture? Because I could tell it's you, but it seems weird now. She said, did you feel like she's dead? And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I had to kill the old me. The old me had to die. And that's why we're going to be talking about courage, because it's like you have to have the courage to kill the old sick you. And that's what I had to do. I had to get the courage to walk away from the old me and become the new me. And, you know, that's what I want to help you guys do as well. And it takes a lot of courage to do that, you know. But, yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. And if he can do it walking on a cane and still walk 5-6 days a week,
Yeah.
then you can do it. You can march for victory, okay? So we're going to continue this throughout April. I had to get on early because it's almost his bedtime, so I had to get on earlier for him, guys. I know I usually get on at 9:30, but I had to get on earlier for him. So we're going to go ahead and close this out so he could get settled down. Did y'all have any other questions for him before I let him go? And I could still get back on later once I get home to continue this. But I wanted to, get it done early so that he can, relax on this Good Friday. Jackie said, thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else had any other questions? Because I'm going to come back on tonight. If y'all still up, come back on with me. I'm going to get home and settled. Give me about 30 minutes. No, 45 minutes, okay? And I'll come back on and we'll continue our rally. But I just wanted to bring him on while it was still early. Any more questions? If not, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go and pack up and get on the road. Michelle said, thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank y'all, queens, for coming on, okay? And I'm going to finalize this and get this on YouTube as well. And y'all going to see more of him because, he's a chef and he's going to be giving us some ideas and talking about how it was when he worked with these other world-class chefs and everything and, give us some recipes, all right? Well, I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Y'all stay up, okay? I'll be back. Anyway, just remember, oh yeah, I'll be safe. Thank you, Jackie. Just remember, one vision and one decision can change your whole destiny. And he'll tell you, I had that one vision, didn't I?
That's right.
One vision.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And if you can think it.
And she kept on plugging at it.
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't believe it. Boy, I mean, it's a big change.
Yeah. And if you can think it, you can see it. And if you can see it, you can be it, y'all. Okay? We're going to do this together the whole summer. We're going to be marching for victory, okay? All right, guys. I'm going to cut this short now, and then I'm going to come back on later, okay? Love y'all. Good night.